Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the next episode of the Game Prod Pod. I dubbed the seasonal autumnal jumpers. In today's episode, we cover the cost of free-to-play whilst talking about extra creamy nut butter. And then we like to discover how we manage scopes and what really does make your producer happy. We then get defeated, utterly obliterated by our lovely host, Matt. All that and more in this episode of Game Prod Pod. Stay tuned.
So we're just doing sort of hellos and random nonsense to kick off the show.
Is this where you say to us, be funny if we were a comedian? Say producery things.
Yeah, do something, produce a game for me. Come on.
What do producers say now?
I don't know. You're the producers. I'm just the host, apparently.
The host with the most. The host without the agenda.
I'm the heast with the least.
The heast with the heast. Or the beast of the east.
The beast from the east. Yeah,
Beast
come on,
of the
produce something. Produce a game.
Yeah,
Come on. How hard can it be?
So we
You
make
two can do
magic
it.
out of madness. That's what we do.
9
Nice.
years of development is how hard it can be.
And are you talking about your new job there, Tasha? Is that...
I've been there 1 day, Matt, not 9 years.
Does
Were
it
you
feel like 9
talking
years yet?
adjacent to your new job?
I'm more thinking about Red Dead 2. That took ages.
That's a proper game. It's good.
Uh-huh.
But that is a thing. Like, proper games do take time. You don't produce
Yeah.
them
Was
out of
it-
thin air.
And shit
Was it-
games take a long time as well.
They can do. Yeah. What was the
Duke
one?
Nukem.
The
Duke
reboot.
Nukem Forever.
Yeah.
It took forever. The ironic name.
Was it Daikatana? That took about a decade.
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
was absolute gash.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember that.
how are you all anyway? What's been happening?
Good. Dealing with the autumn blues, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of that going on.
You're depressed.
No, I wouldn't say as far as depressed, but it's the kind of like, "Oh, I wish the weather was nicer. I should take the dog out, but look at the weather. It's that kind of feeling.
What about those of us who prefer this time of year?
Then you're weird.
What about us?
You don't deserve to.
No.
No, I'm joking.
No. You're
You
weird.
say
no,
us.
no,
Is it
no.
just you, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's-
might be just me.
If we're the population of the podcast.
Yeah. So there's 33% of us prefer
Yeah.
autumn and winter, and quite a bit of spring. It's just
The
summer
other
that can fuck
66.
off.
I like the first few days of autumn, and then I'm like, nah, I want the summer back. Yeah. I'm like, oh, blue sky. It's cold. Don't like it anymore.
I prefer that kind of spring vibe where it's nice and warm
Yeah.
with a nice cool breeze, so I'm not melting and I'm not too cold.
I did go conker collecting or chestnut collecting yesterday with my little one.
Mm.
That was good. So
Are
we don't
you,
roll.
are you not allowed to say conquer anymore?
No, I think you call them chestnuts because I'm East Sussex, darling. Yeah,
East Sussex, darling.
East Sussex,
Oh.
darling.
How very posh, my dear.
That's
Chestnuts does sound rude, though. Like conkers sounds rude, but I think chestnuts sounds ruder.
I think if you just said nuts, it'd be worse.
I like the fact that you can buy nut butter in jars. I think that's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes the colouring of them can be questionable too.
Yes, yeah, and you can get extra creamy nut butter as well. Maybe this is the title of the podcast, everyone. So thanks
Extra
for joining.
creamy nut butter.
Extra creamy nut butter. Write that down.
Wow,
Matt.
we've really skipped a few segments, but I will
Yes.
make a note of it.
Sorry, I
Extra
dart
creamy.
around the agenda. It's
Yeah.
just how I flow.
There was some extra churning going on with that.
Yes.
I've not officially flagged this as a family show in
Oh, okay.
YouTube.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
Let's keep it that
but
way.
it did say, is this show
Innuendos
suitable for
can
children
be,
at,
yeah, innuendos can be family friendly, I think.
We are
in my
mostly
endo.
adults on this.
In your
this
endo.
place.
Yeah. In your endo,
Sorry, Tash, what were you saying?
We are mostly adults in this industry, right?
mostly. 10%. 10 of yeah.
Honestly,
dear.
these days I think that anybody under 30 is a child.
I get
Yeah,
so
it's-
confused
it's-
now. When I
it's
look
quite
at people,
funny.
I'm like, oh, you must be the same age as me. And I'm like, no, actually, I'm older, and that's quite scary.
I heard some people complaining about that in a coffee shop recently. They were saying that I can't believe he's a CEO and he's 28. Okay. Yeah, but if there's an employee count of 5, he can definitely be a director or a CEO.
Yeah.
I could appoint myself the CEO.
Yeah.
but there's
Yeah.
only me. So it doesn't
Yeah.
really
Yeah, you're the director of yourself.
Yeah.
But there are lots of young companies coming up that are kind of challenging that, like the AI companies and stuff. And hats off to them. They're doing good work and they're doing stuff we didn't do when we were that age. And okay. Tash says, speak for yourself. I developed ChatGPT, but I threw it away. Yeah.
Like, we could try to be better. I don't know how
Yes.
to get to like
Oh, I'm not saying
CEO
give
level
up.
though.
I'm just saying they did it when
But
times
how
were
do you,
easier.
how do you become CEO of a company?
How do you become? Well, you just start a company and just say I am.
Well,
CEO.
technically, then I'm a CEO too, because I have my own company. I'm not
There you
doing
go.
anything
Yeah.
with it.
But you've
And,
made yourself a director, right?
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
founder,
There you go.
and I'm a founder of a gym in Leamington, which is my
Nice.
own private club. Which again, I'm not
Awesome.
doing.
Yeah. I've managed to be employed, sole trading, and a company director all at the same time.
at the same time. That's impressive,
How
man.
cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the kind of surely that's like the sort of quite like the EGOT, where you get the kind of Oscar, Golden Globe, Emmy, the other one, like,
Yeah.
and you've almost
The
got like
other
all
one.
three. Yeah,
It's just like that, but without the income or any
Yeah.
income actually right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We own our own companies, not that it's doing anything
Yeah,
for
not
us.
that I'm making any
Yeah.
money. I just
I've,
pay yearly to HMRC, and okay, keep that
Mhm.
going.
I was doing back of a cigarette packet, calculating my tax bill for this year, and it is 0. So that's how well my company is doing at the moment. It's not the only thing that's not generating any money. Free to play.
Free to play. Good segue.
Does thanks.
You've been working on that. You've been trying to get that one in now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Free to play does not generate any money. In theory, these things are free to play. However, what is the hidden cost of free to play games? Luke, Tasha.
So I'm mildly addicted to a game you might have heard of, Counter-Strike. So I've played it for a little bit, not many hours. Yes, and that's been free to play for many, many years. And there were campaigns that came out on a regular basis, and it was almost like when I paid for those campaigns, I felt like I was getting great value for money, even if I spent £12 each time. So I would happily pay for the campaign over and over again. And then it got to a point where I was getting free skins from Steam. I was like, they give me free skins. Now I'm going to buy skins. And now I'm at a point where they're not giving me anything. And I'm still buying these things. So I'm like, hang on a minute. Okay. So that's where I am. I've got a good skin value, but if I look at how much I've spent versus my skin account amount,
I've not played many I've actually really not played free to play games. I think I played one, and the minute it asked me to pay for something, I uninstalled it.
What about on your phone? You play Candy Crush?
Nope. Don't even play Pokemon Go.
You haven't played Candy Crush? Candy Crush is
My mum
very
downloaded
addictive.
it on her iPad. I played it for a little bit and I got bored.
Okay. Candy Crush is very addictive and fun.
So my niece and nephew, when they were kind of getting to age where they're playing the phone, they kept asking like where all my games were, and I'm like, as if I have games on my phone. My phone is there for a purpose, not to play on. I don't know why. But there is the whole development cycle because we see the other side of it, right? We see all the other stuff like the transactions encouraging people to keep paying for things even if we're not rewarding.
Yeah, and Sony got into quite a bit of trouble for that, didn't they? They were trying to take things too far. So, and then you're paying to win, so pay to win type strategy with free to play games. So you'd end up getting an advantage playing these games by being Darth Vader, as an example.
Well, there is an interest when you're paid to win model. It's like you have people who will play the game, grind through, get their character up to level, go and do all the rare dungeons and spend hours grinding and getting the gear. And then you've got someone with all the money that's like, yeah, but I could just drop $2,000 on this and I have all the gear that you've worked so hard for over like the last 9 months. And I've just went and bought it. Is it fair? Is it good?
It's just pure market forces at that point, surely. Like, if you want to pay your way to the top, like, isn't the free to play model where you have a pay to win mechanic, is that not just art imitating life? essentially, it is like you have a two-tier society where you have the ultra-rich who can kind of do whatever they want. And then it's the same within the context of a particular free-to-play game.
Yeah.
And no. So yeah, it's not fair, but the market in life isn't fair, right? Like people that buy houses and buy multiple houses to force housing prices to go certain ways, all that sort of stuff, or they buy second-hand cars in a certain way to try and encourage the price of cars to go up. There's a lot of that sort of trading going on, and then you've got the same thing with cryptocurrency and stuff. So they're paying to win in that area as well. But there's a lot of mobile games that use this strategy, and it's almost to the point of they make it like a drug. So like Candy Crush, for instance, it's a lot of fun. It's very addictive. It's great. And you get to a certain level and you're like, I'm almost doing it every time, but I'm just running out of time. And then this thing pops up on the screen, get 200 credits by paying £4. You're like, I've played this 15 times. I still haven't won. Fuck it. And you press that button, then you do it. And you're like, now you're on that cycle of it was acceptable. Whereas before, at the beginning, you're like, I'm not paying anything. And then you're like, well, £2 was acceptable. And like, £4 was acceptable. It's the same with skins. Like I was paying £3 for a skin. Now I'm like, that skin's now worth £8. If I sold that skin, I could get a £12 skin. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, hang on. And that's probably how people think about the pay to win mindset. It's like, well, I'm buying this extra spell and it brings me up to the level of people that are maybe half my age or something like that. Or people that aren't the people that are more skilled than me, all that sort of stuff. And yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Battlefront
there's
2
some
is the game.
absolutely addictive game mechanics brought into them. Like the rarity can, like, you've got loot boxes and gacha mechanics coming into that now. So it's like you can pay what feels like a small amount, let's just say like a couple of quid, and you can gamble to see whether you get some rare limited edition art of your favorite character or whether you get something pretty generic. So it's encouraging gambling addictions as well. Or to see, like, get this loot box. Oh my god, it's giving me this limited edition, I don't know, nerfed gun that's just like amazing. But it's the only one of its kind. And I got it in my loot box and I only paid £2 or more. The same. So again, free to play models, addiction, gambling addictions going on there. So it is almost like sugar, where you're so addicted to it that you just can't stop.
Yeah. I watched a really interesting video about arcade machines a couple of years ago. And it explained how the arcade machines work and all the lights and the sounds. And they basically had like analysis, people plugged in with like things on their heads and stuff and watching their eyes and watching their reactions and pupil dilation, all this sort of stuff as they're playing with the arcade machines to see how they react to things coming in, stars and lights. And it was fascinating, the level of depth they go into to get people to just stay on those machines and keep
Jeez.
chucking their pound coins in. And there's the same mindset with Candy Crush and these sort of highly addictive games, which are still really good games, and you could still play them without getting addicted, but there is a level there. And it's probably one of the morals that I've got as a hard wall for games I'd work on. I would never work on a gambling game. I'd never work on a game that ruins people's lives.
Yeah, you've
But
got
what
to
if
kinda...
it benefited your life?
Yeah, well, that's yeah. That's I did go
Benefits
for an
me.
interview once and I talked about the game, I talked about how it works, I talked about vulnerable people, and I was like, and they said, oh, this is how we deal with vulnerable people. And I thought, no, that's not enough. And I said, really, thanks for the time. I actually left the interview earlier. I said, thanks for your time, but this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Then okay, fair enough. And I walked out. I walked out kind of like hot, you know, when you're like embarrassed,
Yeah.
hot, like that.
Yeah, that's a ballsy move to extract yourself from that because it doesn't align with your core values.
Yeah, I could have stayed for the whole
Yeah.
interview and just blagged it, but I was like, nah.
You'd be so rich by now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and loads of people have been like suicidal at the same time.
Yeah, but not
Because-
people you know.
No, wow.
You're
okay.
financially stable and happy, weight of the world crushing depression. As I
Yeah,
watch
that's
people,
fine.
you know.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm a big fan of games that allow bragging rights without the benefit. So, for instance, if you join me playing Counter-Strike, Matt, you'd look at my skins, you'd be like, "That's a fucking cool gun. How do I get that, Luke?" And I say, "Well, give me £600, give me £300." Like, and you'd be like, "That's really cool. Can I use your gun for this round?" Yeah. Just if you don't die, you keep it. It's like that sort of bragging rights, and it's fun. It's silly. It doesn't do anything different, but it's kind of part of my identity to have some of these skins.
Could
there's
I
a
put
lot of
that through
games
the
like that.
business? Like, is that a business expense for me,
Yeah, I
technically?
think you could.
Yeah,
I think you could. Yeah, you could buy my AK-47 skin off me. Yeah.
that's
I
good to
don't know.
know.
It never really appeals to me. And maybe I'm in the minority of audiences for these games. But the minute it asks me, like, especially for like in-game currency, spend your real money to get in-game currency to buy this skin. Like, I don't want a skin. Skins are boring. I don't want to have to pay for it. I should get it because I've earned it. I want to play to earn this reward. I don't want to
Yeah,
have to pay for
Gotcha.
it.
but have you put hours into games like Sims or games where you do role play? So, for
Yeah.
instance, so would you personalize your character?
Yeah, I do.
Right. So, if you go to that level after, the level after that is you personalize your character, you like it the way it is, and then you see someone come along with a purple dress. You're like, I like that dress. Where'd you get that? Oh, I got it off the marketplace. It was £4. Fuck it, I'm gonna get that.
I don't want to have.
That's
I don't like that personally. I don't like that difference of go use your real money to get something. It's like for me, it feels like everything should be available to all people. The only cap should be whether it's level based. So if you're at level 10, you get this lovely warrior's outfit that's shiny and gold, or at level 20, you get a platinum version. You kind of get the grind and the reward. I like that grind and reward mentality.
that's cool, but I think people also like personalization, and I think that's a big thing these days. That people want to make it feel like their character or their personalization.
You're talking about the same thing, but your
Different
approach to it
mindsets.
is different.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
all. Like, it's
Yeah,
basically
absolutely.
like I like to play dress up with my Spartan warrior on Halo Infinite just as much as anybody else.
Yeah.
I have bought skins for it, but I am aware all I'm doing is playing dress up with my Master
Yeah.
Chief doll.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe my kind of mentality is like you can get everyone on an MMO. So we take like MMOs. Everyone has access to the same things, right? But your customization comes in tinctures that you can get with your in-game currency that you earn from playing dungeons. Like, oh, I'm going to make this purple and that red, and that's your customization, and that's
Yeah.
what I like.
Mm.
I don't like the idea of someone like I've got this lovely Phoenix fired gown because I paid £200 for like. I'm not going to go pay £200 for that. That's £200 I can put towards my savings or glasses or something in real life that I need.
Perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you'd probably happily spend £2 on a flamboyant.
No.
Okay, but
I don't.
there's perspective, right? So it's different perspectives. So now the same as I said with the skins, right? With Counter-Strike skins. So I was given skins by Valve at the beginning, and they were worth like 3p. And then as time went on, they became £1. And then time went on, I traded that skin for another skin. Now I've got skins in my collection like £600, £700, and that to me is just like that's just what it is. That's how much they're worth. Because I've gone down that road. I guess it's like an alcoholic, right? Alcoholics start with one drink, they're like, oh, I need two. Like, before you know it, they're like 50 drinks down. They're like, okay, this is normal now. So it's just degrees. Same as when you get rich, right? Apparently, when you get rich, buying a car that's 150 grand, it's just like, that's just my car. That's my balance of my car. Like, I buy a house that's £2 million. That's just what I do. This would be our
next year.
We'll be comparing.
No, not problems we're ever going to have, Luke. I don't.
Well, I disagree. I've still got dreams and hopes and aspirations. Yeah.
Wings and prayers.
They're not realistic, but I've got dreams, hopes, and aspirations. Yeah.
Free to play. We're basically all right with it as a concept. We're not really that keen on the pay to win model.
Yeah.
It's just me. I just think I'm the outlier here. I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
I like campaigns. So I think free to play with campaigns is a really nice way of doing it, because what you do is you draw them in with a hook of a good bit of gameplay, regular occurrence of maps that they play on a regular basis, and then every now and again there's campaigns like a season or something like that. Yeah, this is cool. I want to try and compete. Some people just want to be part of it and not necessarily compete in the season. That's fine as well. So I think regular campaigns is really good. I remember the Left 4 Dead ones, that they were fun, they were silly, and you knew that everyone else was playing the Left 4 Dead campaigns at the same time as you, and it was cool. It's good fun.
Yeah, I think there's like a responsibility when it comes to the gambling addiction side of free to play as well. There has to come with some sort of, because when you start to introduce your microtransaction, your gacha mechanics, loot mechanics, even like some battle passes, you need to be careful, because there are people who can get addicted so easily to this.
Yeah.
And they could end up losing that perspective of, I need to go out and buy food. I need to pay bills. I need to do X.
Overrated food. Yeah.
There we go. Luke is a perfect example, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. People don't go out, and that goes down the Wally route, or that you see the VR route where you see that person in the room that's just got no decorations or just with VR glasses kind of glued.
Yeah.
We're all going to become Ready Player One in the future, perhaps, where you're hooked and you pay a monthly fee and you just stay in that world. And my real life is so shit. I'd rather stay in the VR world. So I think there's going to be a degree of people that are heading that way. Yeah.
So
They won't be doing podcasts like this, though.
No. I don't think so. I don't think anyone's doing a podcast quite like this. So
we aren't even doing a podcast like this.
Not that our audience know yet, because
No,
who's seen
we
it?
don't have one. Yeah. It's a secret stealth
secret
cast.
podcast. It's
To the
podcast just
audience
for
of
the
the
three of us.
future, hi, we're happy you're here.
Hello. See you next week, or maybe
not
Next month.
So I think we've solved the question of free to play. Any final thoughts?
we've solved it for this episode. I think we'll come back to most of our topics again and again.
Yes.
No.
Because that's the nature of the beast.
One and done.
And we'll probably get new hosts as well eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when Luke's gambling addiction to his free-to-play game kicks in, we're going to need to source someone else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and or if I win big, then we'll start.
I'll be
paying
out
for
here
hosts.
like a shot.
Yeah.
I'm already training an AI to take over my role as the host.
Nice.
So.
What we could do is
Fabulous.
just change your avatar to like an anime avatar or something.
Yeah.
So I'll just be me and Tumbleweed. Is that what it is?
Oh, okay.
Yes, but we have solved it, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you for helping me solve the question of free to play. We're going to move on to what is production? What is video game production? What is it really? Here we go. Hang on a second. I got it. Games production. What is it really? And we're going to be talking about managing scope. Luke, Tasha, how does one manage scope?
Luck.
Wings and prayers.
All right. Asked and answered. That's the end of that segment.
Yeah, next topic.
Next topic.
So the aim of these podcasts is to get through the agenda as quick as possible.
As quickly as possible.
Yes, yeah,
let's.
Well, there we go. We've just managed scope. We've taken a topic, we've answered it, and we've moved on. There we go. Scope.
There you go. So what is scope?
What is?
I'll have a go, Tash, and you can tell me where I'm wrong or I've missed something. Scope is the level of things we want to do. We being project. Capacity is how much of that we're able to do. And quality is how good that shit's going to be.
Yeah. So that is like your kind of scope in a nutshell, is what we want to achieve, how we're going to achieve it, what quality do we want to give it out at, and then can we realistically do everything we want to achieve, and then scoping it out as in we can't realistically achieve all 20 of these items, but we can maybe do 10 with 5 wish list items and the others get cut. That is essentially your scope of development, and I really wish it were that easy because it's not.
Is it? I was reading a book the other day that said this is simple, but not easy. Is it that kind of idea? Like you can plan it out in an ideal world, but the execution of it starts to get messy.
Yeah. I think that's right. There's a lot of nuance to it. It's simple in theory, as in having a clear idea of what you want to achieve. So knowing exactly what it is you want, you have a very clear vision. You know what mechanics are going to get you there, what features you need, and you have your core pillars or beliefs to kind of get you there. Having that all outlined, making sure everybody's on the same page, everybody's in tune with your vision is useful because then you can actually get there. The problem lies with getting everybody in line with that vision and everyone following, being in tune and not deviating. And then suddenly other things will pop up. Like, well, if you want us to achieve this goal here, we now need to introduce this feature over here to get us to there. It's the whole massive knock-on effect of what you want, and keeping that all aligned and straight to the point and making sure it doesn't deviate is so hard, especially when you have teams as large as like 600 plus people. So hard.
Yeah. And trying to leave them opening enough so that things can adapt and improve on the fly as well. So if you make it too strict and too stringent, then you can't allow for improvement and change. And it also
Yeah.
means that people just feel like they're being taskmasked. They just have to do what's on their list and they can't think for themselves. And happy people do their best work is a phrase I often use. So if
Yeah.
you keep people happy and it allows some gaps around the things that you're aiming to do, it allows that fluid sort of creativeness. It's really important.
Would that not actually come under scope there? Would that not just be an element that you introduce within the scope of the project?
You
Like, we're
should allow
building
for that.
in time, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should allow for that, but often
You
you
should.
add, often too many features are promised and too many things are listed that you're allowing to technical handover to QA, to technical handover to this, to technical handover to that, rather than let me play with it for a bit. Let me have a look at it with QA. Let me prototype these ideas. I think this is about right, but I want to play with it. I want to have the freedom of chucking something away.
I think that's a big thing, though, right? So having that clear vision and looking at the feature you're developing and actually being able to sit there and say, what are we getting from this feature?
Mm,
Is this like your vision is this, and I don't think this feature empowers that vision.
yeah,
Do you
Yeah.
want to still waste time developing it, or
Mm.
can we put this in the back burner? And having a director or whoever your vision that you're following be able to give you that freedom to say, actually, yeah, cut it. If it's not empowering our game vision, then put it on the back burner is
Yeah.
so useful to have.
absolutely. Yeah.
But if you don't have that strength from your director in that vision or whoever's vision it is, it becomes really difficult because then you're carrying on trying to develop and iterate and improve this feature when perhaps it's not actually productive to your end product.
Something I've used in the past, which aligns with what you're just saying there, is pillars. So having those
Mm.
key pillars, and then you ask the question, does this feature align with one of these key pillars? And if you can't
Mhm.
answer yes, then it either gets put on the backlog or we delete it, we nuke it.
Yeah.
So
Can you give
if
us an
we
example of a pillar like that?
so a pillar is the player always feels like they are exploring.
Yeah.
Or the player always knows how to navigate the user experience, or whatever these pillars are. And if you're changing something or adding something, does it add to that pillar, or does it align with that pillar, or does it distract from that pillar? Sometimes things like completely go against the pillar, and you're like, oh, hang on, why are we even doing that? Why are we making that button green, or whatever the thing is?
So you can put that your game mechanics, let's say your boss fights are mechanics to continuously progress and immerse the story.
Yep.
If you end up creating a sequence that doesn't immerse the player, doesn't give full engrossment, and it's just playing for the sake of playing, you should be able to say, this doesn't follow our core pillar. Why are we releasing this when none of us feels involved in the fight? None of us feels moved. It doesn't
Doesn't
move the
add.
story on. Yeah. There's no point to it. It's just there. Then you shouldn't be releasing that feature, and you should
Yep.
have the strength and power to say, this doesn't progress the story. There's no full immersion. It's just there for the sake of it. Let's remove it and think about how we can make that better without jeopardizing the quality of the game.
Yep.
Well, let's take it out now, and then
Yeah.
we can sell it as DLC for 20
that,
quid
yeah,
later
yeah.
down the line. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
Page
one of the problems that does occur is that people say, oh, well, I've spent 2 weeks on this, or I've spent 3 weeks on this, because they think time equals value, and it doesn't.
But that
Time
doesn't
does not
necessarily
equal
mean
value.
we're not going to do it. It means reassessing the feature and saying, either how can we make this more immersive and able to actually progress the story? Because right now it does neither of those things. And if legit we can't, then sometimes, unfortunately, we do have to get rid of people's work that has been like that. As producers, as directors, as game developers as a whole, sometimes we have to say, don't get attached, because ultimately this isn't progressing the story. We're going to have to cut it here. But the earlier you're able to do that, the better.
So I've got a good example of that, actually. There was a creative designer, like a hands-on designer, that went off and worked on a feature for a game, and then he ended up working like Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, just because he got so hooked on it and he got really into the zone. And then when we saw it on the Tuesday, we were like, this is amazing, but it's not for this game. So we
Oh.
shelved it and said, we really want to come back to that. And then every few weeks he'd say, is there anything that we can bring this in? And a couple of weeks later, there was something we brought it in for. And his morale just went through the roof, because he ended up putting extra hours, and we had to say to him, calm down. This is your feature. You love it, but don't burn yourself out, because you'll end up breaking your own feature. But yeah, so there are ways to work with that. And if you're watching this and you're a creative and you worry about that, try and keep hold of those ideas and those thoughts, because they will come up again in the future, definitely.
So then, like, it sounds to me very much like it's it's the kind of thing that you can create as a theoretical thing, but the moment that you introduce the human element is the moment that it starts to get a little messy. It starts to unwind a little bit. So then what is it that you can do from the get-go to try to smooth that out as a kind of almost a pre-mortem kind of exercise?
Yeah. I think it's roles and responsibilities is a big one. I don't know if you agree, Tash, but when you have creative directors, sometimes they may think that they own everything, including process and method, whereas they should be owning that, and then you give them a constraint to work in, and then you say to them, when the technical director says that's not feasible, it's not feasible because his roles and responsibilities are this, or she's, and then your roles and responsibilities are these, and that they deliberately overlap. And you need to find a way to get those people in the room together and say, find a way to agree on what these things are, and understand there's going to be a point where the creative director says, I won't fold on this, and there's going to be a point where the technical director says, I won't fold on this, and it has to get worked out.
Yeah. I think at that point, that's where the producer goes in, okay, you guys might not agree together, but ultimately, does this progress the game or the vision, and tell me how it progresses it, because if it doesn't, then we need to can it, at least for now. And I think that is pre-mortem wise, I think that's going to be the biggest thing, is having that clear idea of what you want to achieve and being crystal clear on that, so that your producer knows, so that the team knows. And then I'm a big fan of failing fast. So taking your features, getting them to their prototype, their basic structure, testing it out, and being able to have those conversations early, like, is this what you envisioned? Is it progressing the story? Is it true to our pillars and the vision? Yes or no? If it is going in the right direction, you can continue to invest in it. If not, at that point is where you need to discuss, like, right, how do we get it to invest in the vision and to be more correct to that path? Or is it something that we should stop development on now and revisit once we've got the core foundations of our game built and then flashed out? Then can maybe we revisit this topic?
Yeah. So it's framework around the people and the roles and responsibilities, having a regular cadence of delivery, having sign off, but most important, communication, making sure we all know and respect each other, and whether you're working hybrid, remote, or face to face.
Yeah.
Understanding each other's roles is really important. And I've worked in many companies where people didn't understand each other's roles. They thought a producer was someone that manages Jira and doesn't care about people, or doesn't care about the creative process, or it's just a glorified project manager. And there's lots of companies where that can be problematic. So agreeing those terms and conditions, if you like, those roles and responsibilities, is really important.
Yeah. And having the confidence to have those conversations as well. Like, it will take, I've seen kind of like more younger junior producers come in and not have the confidence to have those conversations and say, well, it's not up to me. And then you go, actually, yes, it is. You're a producer, whether you're just coming in and you're just learning, or whether you're seasoned. This is what we do. We challenge. We take X feature. Is it worthy? Does it match? You need to have those conversations. You need to be able to sit with the two scary directors at top and be like, yes, but does this progress fines, yes or no? And have those conversations without fear of backlash. Don't get me wrong, it won't always go down well. They might not like you saying it, but you need to have that conversation, because if you don't, the long-term impact could be quite detrimental of that.
Oh my God, that's it right there. That's the segment that we're cutting out.
Done.
That was a really good, really strong conversation. I like that.
Yeah, that was good. All right, we're going to move on because I'm bored and no one's talking about me. So
it's a nice jumper, Matt. I like the jumper. It's a good jumper.
You.
Yeah,
it's very autumnal.
It is seasonal.
Oh my God. This is why I love this time of year.
Seasonal effective jumpers.
Seasonally effective.
Sag.
Oh,
going in the
Are you writing that down? Seasonal effective jumpers. Nice. Sag.
Matt is so on trend. What is it? Play queen.
Right, we're going to move on to the next segment.
A juicy segment.
It's a very juicy segment because it's my favorite one. It is my favorite segment. It is Lick My Ick.
Oh, don't do that.
I will.
Sounds like some sort of disease.
Yeah. It's an autumnal disease.
Yeah.
Actually, when this comes out, it'll probably be like Christmas or something. What about? And we're talking about autumn.
I've not intentionally pitched this as the Christmas episode, but we
Happy
can
Christmas, everyone.
retrofit it. Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas, happy birthday. If it's just
Kwanzaa.
your birthday.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Jesus, yeah. Have a good day, Jesus.
We still need to dig into why Jesus got cancelled, but that is not the point of this particular segment. This particular segment is lick my ick.
Some of the more typical things that I guess for producers to hear is you go into a new company, you're in your interview, you hear like, we really need you to come in and hit the ground running and put us in some process, give us some clear direction, some good focus. And yeah, we use Jira, but not use it effectively. And we really want to be agile and we really want to use all of these buzzwords, right?
And you're like, sounds brilliant.
Great. You come in and it's like, oh, well, we tried running in sprints. It just doesn't work for our team. We found it too restrictive and we don't really like that, but we still want you to figure it out. And you're like,
yeah. And can we have everyone in the entire company in the stand-ups, please, Tash? It's really important. Yeah. And can we make them all 15-minute calls?
but in that 15 minutes, I only want to talk to you once and I want to solve all of my problems in that time. But
And
I
then
still
I'll
need you to
leave.
get rid of and then I just want to get everyone else sorted.
Yeah. A stand-up should be micromanaging. I think that's really important.
Stand-ups are literally your touch point on your tickets. How's it progressed? Do you need help? Yes, no. What are your problems? Right, done. If there's anything else, take it outside of the call and figure it out. That's what that should be.
It's fun. But it's not always the way it starts out. When
No.
you join a team that have been doing stand-ups, you join and you're a fly on the wall and you listen and you think, this is shit. We need to fix this. Almost every team I've ever joined, I thought, I'm just taking notes. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be fixed. But you can't go in too heavy because they think, who is this person?
There are some that I go into and it's literally like their stand-ups are just them having a chit chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, what are you solving here?
What is this? Yeah. And that person over there with the really big blocker hasn't had a chance to speak because you've talked 15 minutes about what you're having for dinner.
I can remember looking at the Kanban board and like listening, like none of this relates to any of the work of the board. So I remember just putting it up on the screen and being like, right, so now that you've had your chit chat, can you all tell me how your work's progressing?
Yep. And then you said, what ticket are you working on next? Oh, tickets. Oh, yeah. What is that?
What happened here? What's happened this one? Are you actually working on that one? Has that one actively progressed? Why is this not getting the updates on it? What are you doing over here? And why have you got all of these bugs, but none of them are addressed? And then they go, actually, no, yeah, those are all done. I'm like, so why are they not done?
Yeah, we don't look at Jira much.
No, not at all.
Yeah, we just do that for planning.
I can see that.
So yeah, these are common things so having to teach a team how to deliver with method is often the first start of any project.
Yeah.
Does it matter what that? Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Does it matter what that method is? Like, so for example, it's agile, or it's waterfall, or it's somewhere in between, or it's whatever it is, right? Like, does it matter? Is it more about just getting people on board with the process?
For me, I don't know if you agree, Tash, but I like to believe there's a set framework of things that always works, regardless of Kanban, agile, fragile, waterfall, whatever. And it's daily stand-ups. It's what you did yesterday, what you're doing today, where are your blockers. It's looking at the things we've planned and are we working towards them. It's things like planning session and then review session, and it's raising blockers, and it's looking at like a Kanban board of priorities. And I know those things are Scrum things, but those things carry across to all delivery methods now, and they also allow for that rapid iteration mindset because that's what you end up doing. So even if you write a plan in Waterfall, you're going to get to a point where you hit a milestone and go, this is crap. Can we rethink it? Yeah, if we were using Agile. But because we've got the next thing that's linked to this thing, to this date, to this person, to this cost, to this blah, 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 we can't adapt. Whereas if we'd built it in as part of our delivery framework, adapting by design, then we'd be in a good place. Adapt by design.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you want to work in sprints, Kanban, release versions. Your ID should be the same. Like you have your stand-ups, find out what's going on a daily basis. You should have your planning sessions, your reviews. You should be keeping on top of what's coming next. So you should have at least 2 or 3 sprints or whatever planned out as to what you're going to be achieving. And you should be clear on the goals for those as well. So whatever you're using, it should be clear, and your team needs to be on board with that as well. And you need to ingrain good habits.
You touched on a good point there, Tash. The producer's role is to make sure everyone knows what they're doing now, so
Mhm.
that the producer can get ahead of that.
Mhm.
So the producer can get sprints ahead. The producer can work with the leads to get ahead, so that when it comes to the next sprint planning or next Kanban planning, whatever that planning is, you're already ahead of the game and you've got a rough idea what you want to
Yeah.
be delivering. Obviously, in the contract, you've got feature. But what defines those features is subject to delivery and design and test, all that sort of stuff.
It should be clear what you're working towards, what quality of it you're working towards, who's picking up what, and how complex it is for them, because what's complex for one person will not be complex for the other. So there's a lot to take in, but as a producer, you should be looking at everything and be able to plan. At least for me, it's like 2 or 3 sprints ahead. Too many past that, everything changes and you have to
It's
rechange
waste.
6 months worth of
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
2 or 3 sprints ahead is doable. Any more, waste of time. Any less, then you're chasing your tail.
Yep. And then with that, you need to be saying to the team that just because we're putting these into future sprints, it doesn't mean things won't change or adapt. But
Mhm.
the idea is to get a good idea of what that sprint goal would be. It will be first to build the foundations, the key core gameplay, and then it's like alpha, beta, and all that sort of stuff, and phases through. What does
But
that
in
mean,
relation to
etc.
I was just gonna say, in relation to the bad phrase, it's coming into an existing team and getting them to adopt everything that we're kind of talking about. And it's our job to guide them through it, like saying, I need you to try this. I need you to work with me to try this. And it's setting expectations as well, because learning new processes and getting on board with stuff can roughly take 6 to 8 months for people to fully adjust to, because that is human nature. 6 to 8 months to be on board with something, 6 to 8 months of practice to kind of get it second nature.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
And it's
That
tough.
was going to be my follow-on question, really. Like, when you are approaching something like this as a change project, like, how do you make sure that you're setting that project up for success? Because between 6 and 8 months is a very long time, like even
Especially
in
nowadays.
game development time. Yeah.
Mm.
So how do you make sure that people are going to be on board with this level of change?
Yeah, it's a good question. For me personally, it's if it's something I'm coming
I'm
into
well
that's
aware it's a
pre-existing.
good question, Tash.
Oh, wow.
It's
Put
being
that
nice,
trumpet
Matt.
away, Matt.
I'm not doing it anymore.
No. Check out. I'm eating cake. Forget this.
As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted.
Yeah, go on, Tash. I was listening.
It's an adjustment. So it is kind of like setting their expectations. So you've come into a team with existing practices who acknowledge that they need to change something. That's always a good start, but they are resistant
Alcoholics.
to change.
I've got a problem.
They're resistant to the change is what I always find. And what I've kind of found my approach being is like, look, I'm here to make life easier, not to make life harder. But that does mean I need you to be on board with trying out new processes with me, giving me feedback, and actually being on board to actually try things and see how it progresses. Like, I won't lie, the first couple of months is going to be you putting in what feels like a lot of extra admin, because you're having to learn how to do it. It's not second nature yet, so you can't just rattle through it. This will become second nature. You will get through it faster. But as a lead, this is kind of what your job is to guide your team through this as well. So you kind of have to gently bring them through it, let them know that you're not there to put down the hammer and say, this is what we're changing to, and you have no choice. It's a collaborative effort. You're going to be there with them every step of the way. You're going to show them how to do it. You're going to go through it with them, and you're going to grow with them as well. You're not taking away their autonomy or their freedom. You're just helping them to do something more efficiently so they have more freedom and more involvement in the things that are going on. And that for me has generally had a lot of positive reception. People will generally try it. But there are times where people are just so adamant that it doesn't work for them that they won't even try it, which is a more difficult situation to be in as a producer.
And so the thing that has helped me in the past is understanding the different personality types, understanding the different skill sets, understanding how someone would take on board something, and then bring that person closer to you and say, I'm having trouble rolling this out because of such and such or such and such person. It'd be great if you could give me a hand with a stand up perhaps, or have a chat with him after, or have a chat with her after. they, them, etc. That's really useful to be able to have someone that is on your side with these things to roll things out. So it comes down to making relationships, networks, and building bridges with certain people, and then things roll out quicker and easier. If you're not the bad cop, it's actually a few people that are doing it. And then if there's still one person that's causing friction around it, everyone's looking at that person thinking, can you just give it a go? Because there's there are sometimes teams where one person says, I use a Windows notepad for all my tasks. Tell me what you want me to do, Luke, and I'll put it in that.
Yep.
There are people like that, and there are some very, very skilled people that use processes like that as well. So it's like it's hard because if you rock the boat with that person, sometimes they end up reducing the amount of effort they put into their work. So you're like, okay,
there's
I'll put
like
some
at least
legwork in
one
for
in
you.
every company that are like, I'm just going to do this, and like,
Yeah.
right,
Here are your Jira tickets. I've had one where it took me about a year for him to come on board with Jira. I was putting his Jira tickets in. I was linking up with a notepad or whatever Excel sheet he had. I would then update the Jira tickets by having a conversation with him. And then over time, he realized I was putting a lot of effort in to keep his stuff updated. He said, Luke, don't worry about the tickets. I've got them. Okay. And I kind of moonwalked out of it.
My approach was like just every Friday be like, hey, I'm going to bore you for an hour now. And he's like, but I have development to do. I'm like, yeah, but I have to do this admin for the week. So now we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So I would steal their time for an hour and I wasn't shy about it.
Yeah.
And he got really fed up of it. So he started to do it.
Yeah. So there are techniques. And so mine was the nicer approach. Tash was the more blunt approach. Maybe you could do a bit of a mix of the two.
It's great because once you get to know your team, you know what you can get away with. And I know I can get away with this, right? And
so teamwork and communication and personalities with people, that's so important for a producer. Yeah. Being a people person, it's really, really
being
important.
a people person and being able to have a joke and a laugh. Because I used to say to my team, it's like, if you don't update your tickets, you do know I can find you on a Friday and I can waste your time. I'm not scared to do so. So
I know what pub you're going to. Yeah.
I know where you work.
Yeah. I've got Jira on my mobile phone and I know the pub you're going to. We'll just sit like this. Update. Is that one updated yet? This one? Can we add a comment? What do you want to write? Do I see it or do you want me to write it?
But if you want to keep your producer happy, you update your tickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. All right. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to the next segment.
Do we have a jingle for this one, Matt?
Yeah. Not yet. No, we don't, actually.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. I mean, we technically have a jingle for the whole podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. If you'd have watched the first one, then you'd know that. But
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
The next segment is True or Flays. So, two of these games are real. One of these games is fake. Can our host, Matt, that's me, get his completely made-up nonsense past our heroic producers? So, are you ready?
I believe we lost last time, so we need to win this one.
It's
Matt's won.
To me,
yeah, he's got 1-0, yeah.
Right, let's step up our game. I'm sitting close as well, Tash. Let's do it.
Game number one, Duskers, a sci-fi horror game where you pilot remote drones through derelict spaceships. The entire game interface is a command line prompt requiring you to type in all navigation and interaction commands to survive. Duskers. Game two.
What is it called, sorry?
Duskers. Duskers. Duskers.
Right.
Duskers.
So not Dusters then?
No.
That's a different game. That's a cleaning game.
I want to do it. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm getting sidetracked.
There is a Power Wash game. The Power Wash game is pretty cool.
It's not. It's terrible.
Is
anyway,
it not?
it's no. It's good. It's great. It's not for me.
It doesn't have much to it.
It's a much more pragmatic way of putting it. Game two, The Lighthouse Keeper's Final Log, a minimalist simulation that. Luke.
Yeah, sorry. My final log. Hello.
The Lighthouse Keeper's Final Log, a minimalist simulation narrative game set in 2142 where you play as the last living attendant of an automated lighthouse. Your task is to perform daily maintenance by manually translating forgotten analog signals into binary input before a solar storm hits.
God, I hope that's not a real game.
Do you know what? It sounds so implausible that it's
sounds
actually
so-
probably a game.
Boring and dull. I prefer command line game to that.
So, game number 3.
Because he chose the 3 boringest game options.
Next one is Dusters, the cleaning
Yeah.
simulation.
The next one is clean a white wall with a white duster. Wax on, wax off.
It would sell. Staring contest game. A bizarre fighting game where your only combat mechanic is winning staring contests against a quirky cast of opponents, including Mr. Skeleton, Maui Head, and a literal potato. So, we have 3 games: Duskers, The Lighthouse Keeper's Final Log, and Staring Game Contest. Which one is the pig at the
Disco.
On roller skates.
which one is the which of these is the roller skating pig at the disco?
That's good. Tash, last time we didn't probably chat enough. I
Okay.
think we should flesh it out a little bit here. So
Right, cool.
command
cool.
line interface thing, that sounds like quite a cool, quirky game and aligned with kind of indie type stuff going on. I think. The Lighthouse Keeper one, the Lighthouse's last turd, or whatever it is. That sounds so bad it could be real.
Yeah, that was my thoughts.
Yeah.
What was
So
the
do
other
you-
one?
Yeah, the other one was forgettable. What was the other one, Matt?
Staring contest.
Staring
game.
Yeah.
contest. See, that sounds plausible as well. So these are good options. So Matt's either a good game designer, come up with these ideas, or he's just randomly got ChatGPT to do it.
Hmm.
He's that face. Look at that. He's not giving
Well-
away anything. Look.
Last time we went with my choice, so what's your
We
choice?
did. So maybe we should go with the one that we think. I like the pause. We need more pausing. I think we should go with the one that is obviously a game, which is the command line one, the first one,
Duskers.
Duskers. Let's go with Duskers. Final
Final
answer.
choice. Yeah.
Final
Final
answer.
choice.
Can we
Final
phone a
answer?
friend?
Do you have any?
No.
Wait, are
We've
we
got
each
4
other's
cats.
friend?
Yeah.
You could call me, I guess. Like, I've
Yeah.
got my phone.
Hi,
Matt,
Matt.
What's
got
the
some-
answer?
I've got some plank on the other line. Can you give me a hand?
So, you think it is game number 1, Duskers, a sci-fi horror game where you pilot remote drones through a derelict spaceship via a command line prompt.
Yes.
That's a real game. Duskers is real.
Wow.
Was it the staring one?
The other real game is the staring contest game.
Wow. So it's the Lighthouse's
The
log.
fake
Boring
game is the
one.
Lighthouse Keeper's Final Log, the minimalist narrative, 721 42. Yeah, there you go. And
So we
no,
are
I
on a
don't-
losing spree.
We are.
Yeah, so it's 2-0 to me.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're blaming it all on me, Tash. Thanks. Yeah, cheers.
That
Yeah.
seems like, yeah.
No. Hold up.
Hey, she's
we're
doing
not
the
gi-
loser hand. She's doing that L
She
to me.
did,
She's like,
she did, like,
she's saying, no, Luke, it's
That
not
one?
my fault. It's not my fault.
yes, it's this one.
We're not game design. We are facilitators for the end product.
Facilitators.
Okay, so-
Yes. We help people with the magic make magic things.
Yeah, whatever you make at the end of it is up to you.
You can explain away your defeat in any way that you would like, but it is still technically a defeat, and it's
It's
2-0
okay.
to me.
It's okay.
All
I've
right.
seen teams come back from 2-0 before. We'll bring it
That's
back
true.
next
That's
week.
true. Yeah. It's always next week.
I feel like we should
Um,
delve into the reason why Matt feels that he needs to highlight this.
Yeah, I think. Did you have a good childhood? How was your childhood? Do you
It was
want to? It was all right. It's all right.
It's all right. It's fine. I don't remember much of it.
How does that question
I'm-
make you feel?
I need to win because I am pretty competitive
Right.
stealthily. I
Right.
don't, it's not an aspect of my personality I particularly like a lot. But when it gets right down to it, I am competitive. I do want to win, and I am winning.
Oh, it's going to be so much more fun when we win.
No, I'm looking forward to it just because of that speech there.
Yeah,
I want to play
same.
that speech back when he's 5-2 down.
It's so strange. I'm not like I am competitive, but not to like all these extremes. But I'll so much so that when people say, "Oh, I have to win," that like that, I'm like, "Oh, but now I have
I
to
wanna
crush
Now
you."
I have to
Yeah.
win. Yeah.
No, not just because I have to win. I have to crush you.
Crush you, yeah. It's like stand on you when you're down.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that was fun,
another
nevertheless.
absolutely resounding victory for me. And on to the next segment where we try to round it all off by naming the episode based on the conversations that we have had. I dub thee. So, Luke, about halfway through, you said seasonal seasonally affected jumpers. So I quite like that one.
That's quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Running.
We talked about extra creamy nut butter. So I think that's in the running.
Option number 2.
Yeah. We talked about free to play to win, blurring the lines between free to play and gambling, reputational cost as well as financial cost, managing upwards. These are all things we've discussed so far. And we talked about agile, fragile, waterfall. And I absolutely just spanked the both of you in true or false. So, what are we calling this episode?
Quite like seasonal autumn jumpers.
I think it's more tasteful. What we should do is distasteful, tasteful, distasteful, tasteful on a repeat basis.
Yeah, because the first episode was moist.
Yes.
So this is seasonally. What do we got? You said seasonally autumnal jumpers.
No. Yes,
But-
seasonal tunnel jumpers or seasonally effective jumpers.
Seasonally
Like
effective
sad.
or
No,
affective?
affective because I'm
Affect.
playing on the sad.
Okay.
Seasonal affective
That's what I
disorder.
thought you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want then? Seasonally affected jumpers or seasonally autumnal jumpers? I don't mind.
Oh,
I like
choices.
them both. I know, right?
Flip a coin, Matt. Flip a coin.
Anyone got-
Literally flip a coin.
The only
There is
coins
an
I've
app
got
for
are
that.
Bitcoin.
There's an app for that.
I
bet
quite
you
like
have, yeah.
seasonally autumnal jumpers because affected just
Just do it.
sounds odd to me.
Yeah. Autumnal. Yeah, that's good.
Seasonally
And
autumnal.
make sure you spell it correctly, Matt.
Right. I dub the seasonally autumnal jumpers. Moving on to the next section, which is the outro. So we're going to do a proper little outro this time. I think all we need to do is kind of like and subscribe.
Thanks, everyone. Take
Thanks,
care.
everyone.
Bye. Love you. Big time.
I'm still going.
Still doing it.